Welcome to Roll Call, Baccano, the live-action movie. I'm the Geek, BAH, here to bring you the next generation of reviews. Today we have a very special event, as I will be casting the roles for a live-action Baccano movie. Now before we start, there is no real live-action Baccano movie. This is just who I would personally cast if they did decide to make a movie. These are my choices, and they are based on different decisions, on the characters, on the actor's acting ability, on appearance. There's a lot of different factors that went into this. Some characters were pretty easy to cast, but others were a lot harder. And honestly, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Because when the characters are harder to cast, it means that the characters are so unique, so different, so just amazing, that how could you think of anyone who could portray them properly? So, without further ado, I bring you my choices, in order, from easiest to cast to hardest to cast, for Baccano, the live-action movie. Okay, so first up, we have Luck Gandor. He was probably an easy one to cast, so who should play him? Well, there's only one person I really thought about playing Luck. Right from the beginning, right when I saw the series, I thought of Ryan Gosling from the Ides of March and Gangster Squad. Ryan has that look, he has the acting ability to play the role perfectly. He's just an ace for this role. He would bring in the sort of comedy, nice guy act that Luck has, but also be intimidating, and that's what it needs. So let's move on. Next we have Keith Gandor, the basically leader of the Gandor family. So who should play the silent but deadly Keith? How about Daniel Craig from the James Bond movies? Daniel Craig has that very demanding presence about him in his roles. He's very tough, he's very, well, he doesn't need to speak to really show that intimidation, and that's a good thing, and that can really be brought out through the role of Keith. So I think he'd be perfect, personally. Let's move on to the final Gandor. Berja Gandor. So who should play the big muscle of the Gandor family? This one was harder. It really was a hard choice to make, but I settled on Colin Egglesfield from All My Children and Rizzoli and Isles. Colin isn't really a huge, muscular guy, but he has the intimidating look of a bodyguard type character. I mean, look at this picture here. He looks like someone who would be guarding someone else, and that kind of thing would work for Berja. Not to mention, he has the acting ability to actually portray the character pretty well. Let's move on. Now we come to Tick Jefferson, the crazy guy who works for the Gandors and likes scissors. Instantly, and without a second's hesitation, I thought of Steve Buscemi from Boardwalk Empire and Fargo. Buscemi may be a little old for the role of Tick, as Tick seems to be a younger guy, But Buscemi just has that acting ability to really play a character that seems crazy. But at the same time, not like lunatic crazy, but really like intelligent crazy. Very functioning and psychopathic more than just loopy. So, let's move on. Now we have Jacuzzi Splot, the crybaby badass who is bipolar as they come. So who would be perfect? How about Logan Lerman from Percy Jackson and The Perks of Being a Wallflower? Logan may not be like the kind of crybaby actor, but his young talent is actually pretty good. He could easily portray someone who seems out of his league and out of his depth in the world that's going on around him. At the same time, I mean, I'm sure he could do like the little crying scenes as well. I mean, he's a great actor, and which is surprising for someone so young. Next up, we have everyone's favorite explosions expert, Niece Hollystone. So who should play the girl that gets turned on by a little boom boom pow? How about Karen Gillan? Karen Gillan is best known for playing Amy Pond in Doctor Who. She's a very wild and rambunctious actor, or actress if you prefer, who can really show a lot of really wild fun to her character, like Niece shows in the anime. I believe that, I mean, sure, she would have to dye her hair blonde or something, or wear a wig, but that's not a big problem. She could do it. So, who's next? The scumbag of the Genoards, Dallas Genoard. This one wasn't too hard to figure out, so let me introduce you to Michael C. Hall. Michael Hall is best known for playing the lead character in the show Dexter. Now, I've only seen maybe a couple episodes of Dexter while at college in my dorm room with my dorm roommates. But from what I've seen, Dexter seems to be like a calm, cool, collected serial killer. And that's interesting, because he doesn't seem to get excited easily, or maybe in the episodes I saw. However, the amount of depth this actor can bring really would work for Dallas, making him wild and crazy. Not to mention, he just has the look. He could easily portray Dallas in every possible way. So, who's next on the list? It's Eve Genoard, Dallas's younger and more innocent sister. So who should play Eve? Well, how about Chloe Moretz from Kick-Ass and the upcoming Carrie remake? Yes, Chloe, oh my goodness. Chloe seems a little old to play the role, true. But at the same time, I honestly think she could do it. She was obviously chosen, well, to portray the badass hit girl in Kick-Ass. But at the same time, she's also portraying Carrie, who's kind of restricted. So if she's playing Carrie, who's very introverted like that, I think she could easily play Eve. It would work. So now we have Misa Avaro, of the Adriana Avis and the Martillo family. So who did I choose to portray him? Stephen Moyer. Stephen Moyer is best known for True Blood and Prince Valiant. He's a pretty good actor from what I've seen. I haven't seen a lot of him, to be honest, but he has the look, and what I have seen of him, he has the style to portray Misa. Now, personally, Misa is a big character in the show, and I think he could portray it well, but honestly, I don't know. Misa was a little tricky to cast. Honestly, I couldn't think of anyone else. And, I mean, I'm not saying that he's not good. He would be good for the role, but I guess let's just move on. So now we're at Firo Proscinesso of the Martillo family. Now, my choice to play Firo is a pretty good young actor, Ezra Miller. Ezra is best known for the movies We Need to Talk About Kevin, as well as the newer movie The Perks of Being a Wallflower. He's a young actor. He has a certain style to him. He seems very eccentric and wild and playful almost, I guess you could say. I think he could portray Firo well in this way, that he's very cool and suave as well. He has that look as well, I mean, even though the hair is a little darker. And having seen him in The Perks of Being a Wallflower, I think he'd be the best choice, to be honest. But he's not the end, so let's continue. Now we have Ronnie Sukiart, another Martillo family member, also known as the Demon. So who could not only portray this character, as well as the voice of his demon personality? I think, honestly, Jackie Earle Haley from Watchmen and the 2009 remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. Jackie is a very diverse actor. He's played so many different kinds of roles. And in Nightmare, he played Freddy Krueger and did a very dark, threatening role. In Watchmen, he was the wild, untamable Rorschach and was very violent and sadistic and crazy. He even appeared as a cameo, well, not really a cameo, but a small role in Dark Shadows, where he was sort of like this timid little gardener-type character, and he was very cowardly, almost. This guy can play so many different kinds of roles, and he's so good at all of them. Honestly, Ronnie Sukiar would just be another good role for him. It would be perfect for him to portray that kind of character, and even as the voice of the demon. But it's time to move on. So now we have Elmer Albatross, the happy, good-thinking guy from the Adriana Abyss. Now honestly, he was a last-minute addition, because I didn't think of him for some reason at the beginning. But I thought Michael Rourke from Magic Mike and Dolphin Tale. Michael is a fairly newer actor. He's young, he has the smile, the hair. He could portray the role. And I don't know a lot of Michael Rourke's stuff. I haven't actually seen either Magic Mike or Dolphin Tale. But from some clips I've seen online, he could do it. It wouldn't be a huge role anyways. So yeah, I couldn't figure out anyone else who would be good for the role. Let's continue. Now we have Sizzlard Quates, the main villain of the series, basically, more or less. And when I think of someone who's so evil like this, I think of Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee is known for playing bad guys, such as Dracula and Saruman in Lord of the Rings. He's known for playing those iconic roles that really get you as a villain. And I think he would be amazing as Sizzlard. He has the look, he has the definite experience in his acting, he's great in all of his roles. He could easily portray the greedy and maniacal leader of the villains. Now, I don't know exactly how well he could do it at his age. He's over 90 years old. But I think that wouldn't be a huge deal. Sizzlard, we've seen, isn't the... Well, he walks around in a cane most of the time. And, they could easily figure something out for the more active parts. Of course, I don't think Christopher Lee's that decrepit or anything. But I guess there's more to continue, so let's go on. I just realized I say let's go on almost every time. I've got to change that up. Anyways, next we have Ennis, the assistant to Sizzlard, and a homunculus created by him. So who should play her? I got an idea. How about the young and talented Carey Mulligan? Carey is known for her role in Pride and Prejudice, which was her acting debut. She's also known for playing in the episode of Doctor Who called Blink as Sally Sparrow. Carey is a young and fair actress. She's very good at playing pretty much anything from what I've seen. She could easily do this sort of timid, quiet Ennis. And I guess that's all I can say about it. Let's move on. Crap! No, I can't say that anymore. On to the next one. Cheslaw Mayer, the child immortal of the group of immortals from the Adriana Abyss. Personally, for me, the best choice is Asa Butterfield, best known for his roles in The Boy in the Striped Pajamas and Hugo. He's shown to have a sort of naive look, but as shown in Hugo, he can also be very adventurous and straightforward. And that's good, because that's how Cheslaw's, could be portrayed. When he's trying to pretend to be just a little kid, he could be quiet and timid. And then when he's being himself, be a little more aggressive. And Asa could portray that well. Let's see who's next.